Hey Jammers, and anybody else tuning in, thank you for dropping in. Tonight I would like to talk about triads. 3-note chords on the first 3 strings, which are movable. I've seen a few of the jammers and a few of the players trying this and not really knowing what they were doing with the shapes. I added a lot of my playing, my soloing, and just instead of playing G, D, E minor, and C, I'll just play the movable 3-string chord on the first 3 strings. But you need to know the target notes first. I'm going to run over the shapes first, and where you'll find them. I'm going to start with an F shape, F, and I'm going to lift up my 3rd finger, so I'm just playing the first 3 strings. 3, 2, 1. Now that's an F triad, F-A-C, because the target note is on the 1st string, F. That's an F. If you move it up to the 3rd fret, it's a G. If you move it up to the 5th, it's an A. 7th, it's a B. C, and 10th, it's a D major. And you'll see me put in all little fills like. So that's one of the major shapes. I'm going to call it like a partial F, and the target note is on the high E string. So you have to learn your notes on the high E string. Another major shape is this shape. I got my 1st finger on the 1st fret. I've got my 4th finger on the 3rd fret of the 2nd string, D, and I got my 3rd finger on the 3rd fret of the 3rd string. That's a major. Now, the target note here is the 3rd finger on the 3rd fret. So what I'm playing is a B flat chord, a B flat triad. If I move it up to the 3rd fret, that's a C triad. If I move it up to the 5th, it's a D triad. Move it up to the 7th, it's a B, a C on the 8th, and a D on the 10th. F, oh, C, F. So we'll go over those again. So your target note is going to be on the 3rd fret. B flat, C, D, E. Now F and G. Excuse me for that mistake there. I was watching my 1st finger too much. It's the target note is on the 3rd string. So you're going to have to learn all your notes on the 3rd string to go through. I'm going to run through a couple of progressions too. And the last major shape is the D shape. Those are the 3 notes in a D chord. Now, if you move it up 2 frets, that's E. Because my 2nd finger, the target note's on the 2nd string. So my ring finger is playing E. So, when I play a D chord, my ring finger on the 3rd fret is playing a D, so that's my target note. That tells me what chord I'm playing. E, F, and this is one you'll see me in the examples, G, and this is where my ring finger is. On the 8th fret, it's a G. And A. So those are the major shapes. You got the F, partial F, with the target note on the 1st string. That would be G, 5th fret would be A. The other one was this shape, where the note's on the 3rd string, B flat, C, D, E. And again, this might make more sense when I show the examples. And the last one, the D shape. D up on the 7th fret, with my finger on the 8th fret, that's a G, so I'm playing a G. It's my D shape. Okay, some minor shapes now. I'm going to go over some minor shapes. One of the minor shapes would be just barring your finger across the first 3 strings. G minor. A minor on the 5th fret, because the target note again is on the 1st fret. 1st string, sorry. So the first note that I hit on the 5th fret is A, so that's A minor. Now when I play all three open, it's E minor, F minor, G minor, A minor on the 5th, B minor on the 7th, C minor on the 8th and 10th will be D minor. So that's one minor shape where you just bar the first 3 strings. The next one is you're going to go, I'm going to play D minor. Now my first finger is on the 5th fret, second finger is on the 6th fret of the B, and my third finger is on the 7th fret of the G. And again, the target note is your third finger. Move it up 2 frets, it's E minor, because that target note is an E. Move it down so your first finger's on the 3rd fret. That'll be C minor. And that's the ones that I want to go over tonight. Now just a few songs to show you what examples they're in. Jimi Hendrix, Hey Joe, you'll hear him, he starts off with just C, G, D, and A cowboy chords. Hey Joe, where you going with that gun in your hand? And you'll see as the chord, as the song progressions, I didn't mark the times down in, but he has his thumb over the top too. You'll see him playing C, which is that partial F shape at the 8th fret. And you can hear him when he does that little trill. Now I'm just taking my pinky or my 3rd finger and pulling off from the 10th to the 8th. And then playing the 8th fret of the B string. And then the next string down from that. But he has his thumb over the top. So there's C. Next chord is G. See how it's right there. The D shape. And my finger, my target note finger's on the 8th fret, so that's G. So I went. Now, the next note is D, so I play this major shape because the 3rd finger is a D. And then I play that partial F to the A, and then to the E. That little fill I'm playing there, I'm sliding up to the 7th, and I'm going 7, 5, 7, 5, 7, 5. The 5 is on the A string, and then open E, and then E7, if anybody's wondering. So again, I played C up here, C, at the 8th fret, because that's where my target note is on the 1st string. Then G. And again, my target note is on the 2nd string. G, D, this shape, because this target note here is a D, to the partial F shape A. And that's where you can hear him playing those little pull-off and hammer-ons that he does. So there's one example that is used a lot in it. You can try these, just a couple of really common chord progressions, like a 1, 6, 4, 5. So it would be like G, E minor to the 6. I'm not going to bother explaining that right now. I just want to get those chords in. 4, the C, up to D. You know what? I think I'm going to record that on my looper here. Record that on my looper and then play the Triads underneath of it, if I can ever get it to stop playing there. Try holding it down. There we go. And now that should be gone. I'm going to try those chords just for a second here. And 1, 2, 3, 4. 1, 2, 3, 4. To the 6 E minor. To C. Up to D, real common chord progression. There's G again. E minor, C. So I'm playing G, the D shape, up at the 8th fret, A minor, this shape, because my 3rd finger is the target note, C, partial F, up to D. So instead of playing those chords, so there's just one chord progression there. Now if I can get it to stop again. There we go. Hold her down. So that's G, E minor, C, and D. I went through G, E minor. See how little hand movement there is? And if you're tired of playing G, E minor, C, and D cowboy chords, you can practice these. Another common one is G, D, E minor, and C. So I would play G. Then I'd play the D here, that shape. And then I play E minor, that shape again. And then C. Now see how little hand movement there was there? My G shape, my G chord. Me, mama, like a wagon wheel. E minor. Rock me, mama, any way you feel. Back to G. Hey, D to C. So just try a few of those songs, you know, like common chord progressions, and just get used to playing them because they're in a bunch of songs, really popular songs. So again, G, then I went to D, this shape. My first finger's on the 5th because this is my target note. E minor. And again, that's my target note on the 3rd fret, 3rd string I mean. 3rd finger, and then C, where the target note is the 1st fret. So what I'm trying to basically say is to learn all your notes on the 1st string, all your notes on the 2nd string, and all your notes on the 3rd string. And there's only 12 notes. And you know when you go E, you know the next note is going to be F. F sharp, G, G sharp, A sharp, B. You know the next note is going to be C. There's no B sharp or E sharp. It's just E to F and B to C. So just figure out the notes on the 1st, 2nd, and 3rd string so you'll have your target notes. One of the other ones is a good example that shows those chords. Stairway to Heaven in this section. And back to the A minor 7. And E minor. So he plays E minor, E minor, D, C, D. So there's another example where it's used in. Hey, and you know, that's the Mighty Zepp using those. Another example you can use these in is under pressure. The chords are going to be D, A, G, back to A. But instead of just going, I may have decided to arpeggiate them. So he starts in D, that D shape again, remember? That's my target note on the 3rd string. Then he goes to A. That's the partial F, and target note on the 5th fret, down to the 3rd fret for G, target note on the 1st string, to A, so he plays, he just arpeggiates it. And that's under the okay, so how he plays that now? He plays the D shape. You're going to play D open before each one of these. And then you play the string. So it's going to be D open. And for this one, you're going to play string 3, 2, 1, 3, 2. That's your arpeggiation. String 3, 2, 1, 3, 2. Now move to the A shape. See how little hand movement there was there? Open D again. String 2, 3, 1, 3, 2. And 2, 3, 1, 3, 2 after the open D. Slide it down 2 frets to the G, the same shape. Your target note's on the 1st fret. Now when you get to the A here, there's an A dyad right there. 2 notes, A and C sharp, the 2 main chords, the root and the 3rd in an A. So you play that open D again. And you're just going to go down the strings. Open D, 3, 2, 1. And play 3rd fret of the B string, 2nd fret of the B string, and open. Three, 2, open, 2. And that 2 on the D string. G string, sorry. So 3, 2 on the B, open on the B, and then the 2nd fret of the G string. And again, I'll just play it slowly so you can play along with me. 1, 2, 3, 4. Now, it all depends on if you listen to the live version or the recorded version. He does play it differently. When I was researching the song, I seen he plays it differently live than what he played in the studio. He plays it differently whatever mood he's in that night. He still starts with that 1st chord. Strings 3, 2, 1 after the open D, 3, 2, 1, 3, 2. But then he does that D shape up at the 10th fret, because that's your target note, right? Which is going to be A. Then he moves it down to the G. Then way down to that A. So listen to it, check it out. Those are 2 alternate ways that you can add to it. And they can be a lot of fun and add a lot to it. Even in your soloing, which I use a lot too, you could just do banjo rows. And again, you can pick these or finger pick them. But first of all, I started on learning the strings on the notes on the 1st, 2nd, and 3rd string. And then you can add movable triads to your repertoire of songs instead of just playing G, D, and C, because I know a lot of you are ready to move on from that. So I hope you enjoyed that. You learned something. I got my AC/DC shirt on for those about to rock. Are you ready to rock? Go learn your movable triads and your notes on your strings. Rock soon, people. Thank you. Bye.